Welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Today's guest is helping leaders do something many people never stop long enough to do. She leads from the inside out. She's an executive and intuitive leadership coach who has spent more than 15 years guiding founders, executives, and high achieving professionals toward greater clarity, confidence, and authentic leadership, blending strategy, intuition, emotional intelligence, and deep personal transformation. She helps leaders move beyond overwhelm and into alignment. We all need that. Trust me. I know I need more alignment. I can't wait to hear from her. So get ready for a powerful conversation that just might change the way you lead. Please help me welcome the incredible Michelle Scott. Welcome, Michelle.
Hello, Angel. So happy to be here with you and
I
everybody.
am so excited. So
Yeah.
tell us about your company, if you don't mind, and exactly what you do.
Yes. So my company's name is Michelle Scott Coaching, and I do executive and leadership type of coaching. So individuals and teams. Absolutely love what I do because I get to help those folks that are just working back to back Zoom meetings, all these things that they're putting so much pressure, and help them relieve some of that pressure. And we'll get into more about why, but I love to help people just feel better and have more fun in their work. It's a big thing.
Well, we
Yeah.
all need more fun. I know I do.
Yeah. I know
All
I
right.
do.
What sparked you to actually start your business, though? Something had to happen because, I mean, we just don't go wake up one day and go, I'm starting this business. I mean, something had to spark you to go into that lane.
Absolutely. So I actually had a wake up call. It was a health concern. It was a thyroid diagnosis. And unfortunately, some of us, and I needed that wake up call at that level to wake up and slow down and start looking at my life in a different way, because I was showing up as a type A personality, very busy, very filled, my days full of things and pressure and all these things. And I actually burnt myself out I was a CPA back, BK before kids. And then I decided, my husband and we decided that I would move into stay at home motherhood as that be my next career. Not that it would be easy, but that it would be just different, right? So maybe it would have a different result. Well, guess what? I burnt myself out as a stay at home mother because I realize now, because I didn't change. I was the same person in those two different roles. So it wasn't the outer experience that was causing the problems, which I think a lot of people think, and I used to. It was actually, what I learned is that it actually was how I was showing up inside. So it was about me uncovering who I already am rather than trying to become somebody else. And then it sort of organically became a coach using these skills, because I ended up going to get a master's in spiritual psychology, down this whole path of inner growth and development. Yeah.
Okay, so I understand the inside out now, and now I understand the intuition. Because you know
Yes.
what, to be the type of coach you are, you have to have that natural intuition to be able to look at somebody and know deep down what the transformation needs to happen in the long haul of things, not the short realm of it.
It is. Yeah. And I mean, that is absolutely true, because sometimes we might think it's just mindset, right? Like limiting beliefs. But the truth is, maybe it's actually our nervous system and we need to do somatic work. And that's actually, for me, like the most recent somatic work is, to me, the most recent fun thing that's coming into business a little more. People are opening up to that. But really, mindset became more normalized. And then now there's some emotional work that's coming in, which is a little bit kind of interesting to navigate in a business setting. Like, how do we navigate our emotions? And then this somatic piece, but it's knowing where, and then there are other levels, like the unconscious and spiritual, actually. So, but knowing where the person is blocked or where they need that relief, I'll say, it is a part of what I've learned and how I help people. Because I mean, it's not just one size fits all. It depends on the person and what they really need.
Yeah. I'm going to go back a minute, if you don't mind, and let's talk medical, because,
Yes.
I had a medical situation too. It was thyroid. And guess what?
Mm-hmm.
It transformed my life into doing something else as well, which transformed me to actually doing this eventually. Those other things all need to happen to be able to make what your inner core is saying you need to become that
Absolutely.
person. And you can tell us more about that if you don't mind.
I would love to, because this is what I love to talk about. All these, yes. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful to have met you and be here, and I hope everybody receives some nuggets from this. But yeah, the inner. I now, that's what I teach in my executive with my execs and my leaders, is about presence, and that's where I'm coming from a leadership standpoint. Is how can I show up as my authentic self, lead from my authenticity? Well, okay, how do we do that? Well, let's look at all those different levels we talked about a moment ago, but let's do it before we have a health issue, like like let's listen, slow down and listen to what our body is telling us. Or what is our environment telling us? Maybe there's some discomfort, or there's a conversation that we know we need to have, or we kind of are uncomfortable, but we're ignoring it. Those are the things that we want to bring awareness to. Because I will tell you that thyroid, it's fifth chakra, it's the voice. It's right here, right on top of the voice. And that's another thing I discovered in my journey in my personal development. Once I had the thyroid diagnosis, I was like, what else is there? What does this mean? Or how am I to help myself with this at a deeper level? And it is about speaking up at this point. For me, it's about speaking my voice. I'm here on these podcasts now, speaking my voice, sharing my messages, sharing what I've learned, but that's a part of the learning. So we want to slow down. We want to listen to ourselves. We want to hear those nudges. What I don't want is that people have to go through some health issue or some major, I'll call it a nudge, but our steamroller. I've also heard it described as a steamroller, other things, but we don't want that. So that's what my messaging is about.
Yeah, so the steamroller effect, that means that you've been knocked down to your knees in some kind
That's
of
right.
health condition or some way
Yes.
yeah, I've been there. You've been there. And I mean, we don't want that for you. So listen to her, connect with her. We're going to talk about connecting with her too. So you guys don't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Now, everything you've learned so far, what would you go back if you wrote a letter? What would you tell your younger self?
I would tell myself to trust myself, that I don't have to earn my worth. And that life's not a race. Like there's actually no destination. It's actually enjoy being in the present moment and really be in my life. I did a lot of, I'll just say I was in my head a lot, and I work with a lot of folks who are just super sharp. They're functioning up here at the mental level because that's what their work, and they're great at it. And I was that person as well. I still am, but I've now learned to not be driven by that, because what that does is takes me out of the present moment. I'm either in future planning, future thinking, or I'm in the past in regret, or what happened, I wish it would have been different. So really my game, what I would tell my 18-year-old self is I would help teach her, show her how to stay in that present moment and really be present in my life. And trust my inner guidance, trust myself. And then what does that look like? Yeah.
All right. Inner guidance and trusting yourself. Let's
Yes.
talk about some things that you've seen in businesses that could help others grow from your insight by looking at maybe decisions or habits or strategies that have taken place that you've seen that like move that needle for a business, an entrepreneur, or a leader that you're working with, or even for you. What is that you see mostly?
I see. Well, recently, one of the things I've seen is even in like a situation like hiring people. Okay.
Mm.
There's another level of tuning in to like getting really clear on who it is and what the role, who you need and want in that role. And then asking really specific questions that actually get to the person, the characteristics of the person that would be a good fit for your team, or that is on the team and that you want to create. Who do you want to work with and what are their characteristics? But taking the time to slow down, to really tune into what are those questions and how can I determine if this person is going to fit in that role. So that's just one facet. And then another thing is, I had recently a client that I was, we worked together because she'd just been promoted and she was shifting into a higher level position. So she had to let go of some of the weeds, let go of the weeds and get into more of the vision. And she was in a lot of chaos, like the team she inherited, et cetera. So there were some kind of cleanup things, conversations that need to be had. And when we got about 5 months in, I asked her how things are going, just to check in, which I do. She said, I haven't felt so peaceful in about 5 years. And she goes, I was wondering if I should start looking at another job or another role or try to get more something, this and that. And I was like, wait a minute, let's slow down. You hired me to help you create space so you could be more strategic and more vision on the visionary side of things. And now you want to fill it up with more chaos and more busyness. I said, what's the truth for you? Is it because you're excited about a new opportunity? Or is it because you're running away from or trying to fill up this empty space? Because that's a different story. So it's helping people slow down literally and get to the truth for them rather than just being in reactivity. And I hope does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because when you're looking at it from hiring people, all right, and then moving positions as well,
right.
It's all about finding that alignment for both of them.
That's it. That's exactly what it is. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I get you. I feel you.
Yes, please. Thank you. I'm so pleased.
All right. So I love this no filter confession from you guys. You've been around multitudes of businesses and leaders and entrepreneurs. What do you wish the mindset is that they would kick to the curb and stop believing?
That it's whatever it is for them, that what they're chasing is coming from the external thing that they think it's coming from, because it's not coming from that. Will never get, usually what we want, there's an experience we're trying to experience underneath the thing we want. So if I want to go on vacation, I'm trying to maybe experience peace. So yes, I'm going to see beauty. I'm going to have this great experience. Maybe I'll get closer to my family. There are a lot of benefits to it and recharging. Absolutely. Underneath that, what is it that I'm trying to accomplish or receive? And for me, it might be peace. Well, guess what? I can actually have peace right now in amidst the chaos of what's going on in my work. If I let go of some of the internal pressures I'm feeling about it, like a lot of it has to do with the internal pressures that I am creating about the thing that's happening externally. So if I can get a handle on or shift that pressured feeling, I can feel peace right now in this moment. I don't need to leave and go on vacation. I can still leave and go on vacation whenever I want. But for now in this work, which is what really helps my clients, is they do work a lot. They are working in intense environments. And so how can I work in that environment at excellent in the excellence I want to work in, which they all want, and leave the legacy I want to leave, create the teams I want to create, have the experience I want? Well, it's an internal game. It's not just the external.
I love that you said that, because so many of us are type A personalities.
Yes.
And being that type A personality, we have that internal drive that constantly wants us to go, 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 go.
Yes.
When we look one way externally, but internally, holy hell.
There's a drive and that push, which is great on one hand, right? Like it helps us do the job, do the things we need to do in the world. And that's excellent. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like, what's the pressure I'm putting on myself and others behind that? Can I relax in this moment and actually have the experience I'm probably actually seeking that I really need, so I don't burn out, or so I don't do a reactive move, like react to something and then cause problems that somebody got offended, or, there's all kinds of places in here we can talk about. So,
yeah. And the fact of, you brought up vacation. Oh my God. How many of them really go on vacation?
I know. Exactly. I was just on a call with a client today, and she was confessing a little bit that she has a week blocked off, but she's still taking calls. She was kind of sheepish, a little sheepish about it. And I'm like, I think we need to talk about this on our next call. So anyway, yeah.
But yeah, so that's just something that happens with us. Like we'll travel for go to different events and stuff for work. It's still work, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And though you can have fun, like it doesn't have to be, I love what I do. So
Right.
that what I'm trying to say is you could have vacation anywhere.
Mhm. I do. I rather go
Yeah.
to an event than plan a big vacation. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Because you can
That's
just bring
me.
the joy or the fun or it's the inside game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, the party doesn't start till I enter the building anyway. Come
I
on.
bet. I believe you. I believe you. I love your energy. Yeah.
So if you believe in balance, okay, or you don't, either way, you can tell me. I call it the dance. That's what I call balance. It's all a dance. It's
Yes.
how you maneuver. Um, so how do you juggle between family and friends and
Mm,
business? Or
right.
explain.
Well, so I don't believe in balance, actually. So I'm in that camp. I I guess I believe in harmony, or what's a better word for it? Yes, it's just not a destination. Balance isn't the goal. It's more like, honestly, what brings me joy and how do I in the moment or priorities, obviously I need to maybe do my work, but then boundaries also come into play here. And boundaries, if I say that I'm going, like my client who's taking these calls, right? We've actually had conversations about boundaries and she's come a long way. She's got a lot more white space on her calendar. She's holding, plus we talked about her executive assistant, how she can gatekeep and really, if she feels weak, her assistant can help back her up. So we put in strategies to help create, but what are the priorities? That's really, I think, the first question when it comes to life. And there are different seasons when maybe we do need to spend more time with our kids and what they're doing, or maybe maybe we're launching a business or something, where it takes an intensity of work, but just we plan that in instead of just letting it run us, really be thoughtful and intentional about what the reality of life is. There might be times when I don't have as much time for my family. It's true. But if there's never an end in sight, I think that's when we get into trouble. And then it can feel like we're out of balance and we're not balancing, or we're not feeling like we're managing, or whatever the words are for the person, doing a good job in our life, judging ourselves. So, and that's another level of this, is to not judge it, not judge ourselves or others about that. To me is the biggest. And that's another internal pressure. We put judgment on top of, we're already doing the best we can. We have a lot going on, most of us. And then we judge ourselves on top of it. So let's start with removing that.
I was listening to a podcast the other day and it said that why do when we judge ourselves, we go up against somebody else who we think is higher than us.
Mm,
And it's like,
right.
and they're probably not. We just have that in our mindset. And if we do see that and we think that, the question is would you really want the junk that's associated with that? Because your junk is
Mhm.
your junk you gotta go through, and then their junk is their junk they have to go through.
Yes.
And yeah, you might be even, but you're seeing it as here and here, and it's not.
Exactly. And there's the like looking in comparison, right? But we might be looking at that person after maybe they're at the medium or the top of the peak of their business, but they started where, let's say I'm at the beginning of my business, but I'm looking at and comparing to the person that's at the top of their business. Well, guess what? They started where I'm at. And I need to remember that they didn't start there. They started where I'm at. So now what are the steps? Use it as inspiration. Like, oh, okay, that means that's possible for me then. If they got there, then I can be there. So turning it around instead of comparison, which only puts me down, makes me feel somehow inferior. Because
Right.
guess what? Me thinking that they're inferior or judging that or whatever, that is not changing anything. That is only harming me, actually, and it's making me feel bad. So let's not do that. And then use it for inspiration. That's what I would say. Yeah.
I love that. Use it for inspiration. So, I need you to give some people some inspiration right now.
Okay.
Let's talk about this. A woman who is sitting there going, I really want to start this business. I have it in my heart. I know what I have to do. I know what I want to do. I'm working another job, or
Yes.
I am a mother, and I just don't want to take on that responsibility because I don't think I have it in me. What would
Hmm.
you tell her?
Well, why is she even asking the question? Is what I would ask, because something inside is there's a reason that that question came into her head. It's like there that means some part of her probably is going, I have more to do here, or there's something bigger for me to do. There's something for me to offer on some level. Maybe it's just unclear. And yeah, there are always going to be fears when we step into something new. But it's so then it comes down to literally one step at a time, not looking at the big picture of whatever the dream is, kind of the thoughts are. It's
Mhm.
like really breaking it back into what can I do today to just a small step in that direction to just check it out. Because we don't have to say we're committing to it fully. We can check it out and lean into it without just going down the whole rabbit hole of it. But if we cut off our inspiration or those nudges, I would call that was probably a nudge. If you're getting that thought, if you cut that off, you're really kind of saying no to yourself and your heart. And that's, I believe, one of the things that then manifested into a health concern for me, that I wasn't listening to myself. I wasn't listening to my heart. And so I would say if you have those thoughts and you're feeling some kind of inspiration, at least check it out. At least go ask yourself inside, maybe sit down and journal about it. It doesn't have to be big and complicated, but at least feel into it and check it out and see if there's something to it, and get some help. Have a friend, someone safe, someone that you trust with your dreams. Different people in our lives, some support and some are a little more skeptical, right? Make sure you're supporting yourself with people who would want this for you and really support you. But then start to explore, just bounce ideas, look
So
on the internet, get chat and Claude to help you, or.
I love chat and Claude and
Yeah.
Gemini, Perplexity.
Yeah.
They're my new friends. So
Yes.
anyway, so I have an 80-something-year-old lady who told me this. She actually brought the film industry to Georgia. Her name is Bev Copen.
Okay.
So she told me, you were talking about, weighing it out and doing stuff. Her thought process of weighing it out is so cool. So
Tell me.
I know. So she takes 2 sheets of paper with what it is. And so if it all work, what is the best case scenario on one sheet of paper? She writes it all down and makes all the yeses, whatever. On the other sheet of paper, what is everything that could possibly go wrong?
I
And
love
she
it.
said each one of those, it says, can I live with that if that's the worst case scenario?
Yes.
And if it's yes, what are you waiting for?
Yes. And I agree. I've heard that. I love that. And I would add, like, if just to give some tools,
Yeah.
additional. So like on the belief side of things, I can't do it, or I don't have enough energy, whatever that is to write down all the things I can't. I can't because I can't, I don't have time. I have a little, and then you go do the opposite. I can because I can. And then you find evidence for how you can, and you back it up with evidence from your life. Like, I can't make phone calls. Okay, that's a lie, because I have made phone calls, many phone calls, and they've turned out just fine. But that's the way you can start to debunk the thinking part of this, because that's often what will block on one of the first places that'll block.
And you wait, you got me. You ready to hear what I would say?
Tell me.
Well, can't we have an AI make those phone calls for you because they're so human, they can actually sound like you anyway?
And that's it. See, there are lots of potential solutions. The thing is, though, is to stay in possibility instead of let the mind or the negative thought take over and take you out of possibility. We wanted to stay in possibility and keep taking those steps forward. And one is to do that tool you just suggested. I think that's a great place to go.
And I love that I can and I can't. I love that.
Yes.
And I think that you and I stay in the possibility realm way up here.
Yes.
And that, okay, you guys just needed take our possibility. We're giving you our energy for possibility today. How about that?
That's
All of it.
that's right. Possibility. And it doesn't mean fake thinking, positive thinking either. Like, oh, this is going to happen. No, you start, spirit meets us at the point of action, or universe meets us at the point. Put the word in that fits for you, or love meets you at the point of action. So it literally is just putting in that, what's the next tiny action I could take? That action will create momentum and help other information reveal. And guess what? I'm learning this very deeply right now, that I'm not going to have my whole life and future revealed to me all at one time. I have to start taking just the small steps first, and then more information will be revealed as I go forward. So that's what I encourage people to do as entrepreneurs, new people coming into their dreams.
Step by step. All right, let's talk about a woman. She's been in business for a while and she's on the verge going, okay, I just want to throw in the towel. What would you
Yes.
suggest?
Okay. So don't quit on yourself.
Mm.
You know, you might actually need to rest. Like, you might actually need to do some self-forgiveness. You might take the judgments off yourself. A person might need to schedule a couple of hours for yourself. Like, if, let's say, you're a stay-at-home mom and you never take time for yourself. I'm not talking about, again, the massage is great, but literally what would help rejuvenate you, and then schedule it, make it happen, get the people to support you, your husband, your family. But like, tune into what it is what is your body telling you? You know, so take care of yourself first, you know, really listen to that and hear the message of that. I'm tired. But then is it fear? Are you ready to quit because you're afraid of that next level? Because guess what? When we step out of our comfort zone, when we get ready to step forward into what feels like the uncomfort zone, every reason why we shouldn't do it will come up.
Yep.
And so just what we want to do is pay attention to maybe where it's coming from. Is it actually physical exhaustion? Is it actually, I need some love and some self-care? Okay, then we need to put that in place. Is it me and fear? And I'm on the cusp of stepping forward into something really big and juicy for my life that I've been wanting for forever. And there's something stopping me from taking that and receiving that. Maybe I have trouble receiving. I mean, there are lots of different ways to look at this. But then we want to do our inner work, and we want to identify the fears, maybe do this I can or I can't exercise with your fears. I'm afraid of and then find the opposite and then the evidence. But yeah, that's what I would say is don't give up on yourself, because for me, that's the biggest lesson I've had. And
Wow.
it came through a health concern.
Mm-hmm.
But stop and listen and learn and pay attention to who you are and really tune in.
I like that. Tuning in and paying attention, you know, and do the exercises. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think she's got a million exercises, guys. We just have to pull them out of her. I know she does.
Yeah.
All right.
And one more little quick thing is, like, don't confuse a difficult season or a difficult time with a wrong path either.
Mm.
You know, it might be that it could be that it's the wrong path, or it could be, but I would want to look a little closer before I would throw in the towel.
You know, one of my mom's favorite quotes was from Dolly Parton. If you don't like the path you're on, pay the new one.
There you go. Exactly. And a lot of, for me, is tuning into at the body level, the somatic level. Like, how does this feel in my body? And that's how I get to know myself. And how do I get to know if it is on track or if it is out of fear? Like, this is all about, like, getting to know myself, getting to know my body, the signals that I know when I'm in my truth, when I'm in alignment. And it's going to feel like, for me, it feels like a little bit of excitement, maybe a little fear, but it feels like just a little bit of aliveness, a little bit of, I can take a deep breath, you know, so just, but learning about ourselves that way.
All right. Taking a deep breath and moving forward. All right.
Yeah.
Let's pull back that velvet curtain. And do you mind telling us any future sneak peek of what's going on in your business?
Yeah. Well, I have, I'm in an interesting, a big changing phase of my life right now. So in a lot of transition and shift. And this actually being on podcasts like this and getting to have these amazing conversations with like-minded souls and get to share the things that I've learned, hopefully helping others through that sharing. So continuing that. And then I'm also looking to expand my leadership coaching practice right now. And then my messaging of presence first and inner game, that's my, I guess, the thing I want people to know most. So I'm wanting to expand my messaging, and it all just fits with me being out here and talking and being more visible. So that's continuing that.
Okay, so this happens a lot when I am actually doing these podcasts with people.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to take note of what you just said.
Oh. Oh no, it's turning
I
around.
see this as either a speech,
Oh, okay.
okay, or a book. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Presence in your inner.
Yes. I've been saying it, presence is your greatest strategy, like that. So
Ooh, okay. All right. You have that written down
I do.
somewhere?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I like that. Presence
Okay.
is, yeah. Say it again. Presence is your,
Presence is your greatest strategy. Yes.
okay. I like that.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, I see it, just so you know. All right.
Thank you.
Unexpected. Tell us something unexpected that we're going to go, oh my God, Michelle did what?
Do I have to just say one?
No, we can say a few. Go for it.
Well, I do acrylic intuitive painting. I have a studio right over here behind this. I have my background and my little living room area, but then I have a studio over here. So I love doing that. I like to throw paint and expressing through my body and releasing through that medium. It's just lovely, and I love color.
That is so cool. Okay.
Yeah. And I also just recently traveled alone to Italy for an actual medical procedure. So I'm like, it took a lot of for me chutzpah to go and do that. I enjoyed it, but yeah, I just felt compelled to, and it was very freeing. So I loved that. Yeah.
Oh wow, that is amazing. Traveling by yourself in Italy, Europe. I mean, I think that would be fun. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was actually okay. It was in the food area, like Bologna and Parmesan, Parma. Yeah, it was lovely.
Love it. All
Yeah.
right, let's pump up some volume with some music. Do you have some music that you actually love or get you moving?
I do. One of my favorite songs is "Golden" by Jill Scott.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Do you know that song?
No, but I am going to look it up because it
Okay.
sounds beautiful.
It is. Yeah, it's lovely.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fun. It's a good, and it's got a good deep message for people.
Wow.
So check
All
it
right.
out.
All right. What about book or books?
I love The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer and the Surrender Experiment. I feel like living that and learning how to surrender. I think in all of these uncertain times that we're in right now, probably one of the biggest messages is surrender. And that inner game is a part of the process of surrender, like letting go of all the shoulds and the pushing and the not desires. That's fine. Like have preferences, chase your dreams. But without the pressures we put on it that it has to be a certain way or look a certain way, or that something's wrong with what is happening, because the truth is I don't really know the whole picture of what's happening. Right. But instead pushing it. So acceptance. Anyway, so Untethered Soul. And then I also love Robert Holden, who has like Authentic Success and Lovability. Those are great books. Plus he's just a great spokesman. He also did a lot of studies on happiness, but if any of his stuff's great, love his stuff.
Wow. All right. Words to live by or quote.
Yeah, this is actually from Robert Holden. He said this at my graduation. He was a speaker for a graduation, and it's, if you think there's something missing in your life, it's probably you.
Ooh, that's deep.
It is. Yeah. And it's on the bottom of my emails because that's the truth for me. That's what I had discovered. I was the one I was missing. That's why I was whatever I was, uncomfortable. I was unhappy. I was all the things. So.
That's amazing. All right. Fairy godmother has entered the building with a magic wand.
Yes.
Tapped you on your head and gives you a superpower for just 24 hours. What would it be?
I feel like I have so many already gifts.
You do.
Yeah. Right. I think Superpowers. Well, the image I just had, as you said that. So my inspiration, so I'm teaching through this call, hopefully we're teaching alignment, right? And how that shows up for me now is I'll have images come in, or maybe I'll have words come in, thoughts, ideas. This is possibility. This is how it shows up for me, is once I've removed all those blocks, the judgments, all the things, the limiting beliefs, then I'm open to this creative flow and this and being able to see possibilities and steps forward. And it's so much more fun, and it's so much grace. So within that, the superpower would be that I would know and be able to discern even more clearly what direction is the right and best direction, because the truth is sometimes it still gets muddled up in there. So so I would love to have the superpower of just knowing, go here. Okay, no, this is in alignment for you. Move there. But I'm not sure I'll be granted that one. I think that's part of why we're here, to learn how to discern, how to do all these things that we're sharing about on this call. So,
And I think you're going to learn that
yes,
in the next coming years. I actually think you're going to get to that in the next
thank
coming
you.
years.
I do.
really,
I think so too. I do too.
I think so. All right. Motivation. Do you believe in it? And if you believe in it, what do you do to get motivated?
I think that I think there's motivation. I don't think it's something we can force, though, like suddenly pump myself up to be motivated. I think it comes from within. Guess what? My messaging, but it's so true. It's like when I am aligned, I don't need motivation. I'm just excited and I'm aligned, and I'm receiving those downloads and that information, those ideas, the creativity, the generative ideas and possibilities. And it's fun and it's light, and it's like, oh, I can see things I haven't seen before, but there's a delight in it. So I don't need motivation in those cases. Now, if something's really hard, then I would be checking out to see if I really should be doing that. Am I in the right place for myself? I'm going to use it as a tool. Lack of motivation, I'm going to use it as a tool to check for alignment. That's where I come back to every time. Does that make sense? Instead
Yes.
of forcing motivation, I'm going to see, why am I not feeling motivation?
So you just said another one, just so you know, so you might want to write this one down. Guess what? It comes from within.
That's absolutely great one.
You just said it. It was like, oh my God, she just has another whole speech coming out, or book on guess what? It comes from within.
That's absolutely cool. Yes, please, to that. Okay. I'm hearing you. I hear you. Yes.
All right. What is the best way for our audience to stay connected with you?
Okay, awesome. The best way is to really go to my website, michellescottcoaching.com. And then I have a little freebie there for people if they want to learn a little more about their presence type. There are 4 archetypes that I've created or come up with. And you can learn just a little bit more about yourself. And then also there's some tools, really somatic tools that you can use, quick ones. So if you're in a meeting, or you're just in a need where you need a quick reset, or just feeling off a little, this will help you. So just go grab that, and it's michellescottcoaching.com/quiz for that. And there's nothing, it's just free. Just go grab that.
Yay. That sounds like exciting. Thank you for that. All right. I know you're going to have an amazing mic drop moment. So what is there that maybe that we didn't talk about yet that you really love to share with everybody?
Yeah. So all of this call, I've been talking about the inner, right?
Yeah.
And as we know in the world right now, I can just speak about my own life, frankly, that life creates certain kinds of circumstances that can put a lot of pressure on us, right? So the external pressure is really what life is asking of us, but the internal pressure is actually what we add through fear and judgment and perfectionism and people pleasing and all these things, all these patterns we run. And that comes from our conditioning, and it's innocent, right? Like we have these for a reason, these ways of being. But when we learn to accept what's true, we free up a lot of energy. And then that's what helps us create our life into something that we love and that we feel really good in. So, we just want to be ourselves and know who we are. And that is a journey of discovery. And the journey of discovery is slowing down and noticing and paying attention, and, to your body, to your thoughts, getting to know yourself.
Mhm.
That's my biggest thing that I want people to know is it's really genuinely not going to come from outside. That is not going to be a lasting solution. Lasting fulfillment, lasting peace, lasting whatever you're searching for. It's going to come from looking inside because
Yeah.
we already have it inside. We already know what it is. So
Looking inside is like the key to everything. Do you
it is.
meditate as well?
I meditate. Guess what? So here's a little, so someone, you don't have to meditate. You don't have to, some people are against, they're just,
I
it
know.
repels people. But I started literally like with 2 minutes. I'm not kidding. 2 minutes once a week. And I literally started, and that was my low bar commitment. And was able to keep that. I developed it up for a while. I was doing 2 hours actually. I was really going for it. And then now I'm settled down into like 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. But I built that up slowly over time. And so, but then I had experiences. I started experiencing more of a calmness and a tuning in and a witnessing of my thoughts, and things started to change. So my mind was like, this isn't going to work. But that's why you have to run the experiment, and you actually have to do it and then have the experience of it. And then then you'll have the evidence, which is what the mind needs to feel like, okay, this is worth my time. That was my journey with it. But how about you? Do you,
I
um,
wish I could. I have done it. I have gotten up to
ah,
45 minutes before, but I'm not consistent. I'm just very
yes.
honest. I'm not consistent. If I was, I would probably have so much more insight than, you
Yeah.
know.
Could I ask
Mhm.
you a question? Do you mind if because
Go
it
for it.
might it will serve the audience, is how to do that. So what was your experience when you do it? What is the experience you have? What do you notice?
So I get things that have dropped down into me saying, "Go research this, go do
That's
this,
it.
go
Yes.
do that."
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so, like you said, the thyroid condition, I had a thyroid condition that I was allergic to medicine. I had Steven Johnson syndrome. It was during that period of time is when I really discovered meditation and yoga and actually
Mhm.
moving forward with things. And so I literally would just meditate during that time period. I had so much time in my hand because I wasn't working. I had a job and I was on medical leave,
Gotcha.
so I
Yeah.
had so much time that just allowed me that freedom to do that. So, yeah, if I could go back to just like 2 to 5 minutes a day,
That's it.
to start with, I think that would help.
Yeah. And so like the busy folks, that's perfect because they might not have 45 minutes, right? Or definitely not 2 hours unless maybe they're on vacation, maybe. But start small. And I also know my clients, a lot of them are these all or nothing folks. And then guess what? I recognize that pattern myself. And so if I can't do it for 45 minutes or 30 minutes, then I won't do it at all. Well, guess what? Then you're not doing it all at all,
Mhm.
period. That, it's Michael Jordan. You miss all 100% of the shots you never take. So it's the same thing. So we just start literally 1 minute is okay and make that okay.
Mhm.
The part of you that says it's not okay is the pressure part that I've been talking about this whole time. That's the part that's blocking you from having what you want, which is meditation, perhaps, which then leads to creativity, possibility, or at a minimum, some great strategy for your leadership team. Anyway, it's very practical. And the experience I heard you say is that you started to receive downloads. That is legitimately what I experience also.
Yeah.
And then for the folks who, because I also had this, like work is hard, a belief that hard work is needed and required for success. Guess what? When I tune in or when I create an environment where those ideas can just come in, it is not hard. It's
Mm.
easy and the pressure's off and I'm feeling better. That is how this all works.
Yeah.
So then my question is one more question is, what's the value of that being able to receive those downloads? Do you want to continue to have the downloads or not? And that's okay if you don't.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It gives so much clarity.
Yeah, exactly. And so then how does it benefit you having that?
Well, clear thought patterns, giving you the right steps, what to go forth
Yeah.
and how to take them.
Yeah. And so is that something you would love to continue and have in your life?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you go to the why am I doing it? What's the purpose of me doing this to get to the thing that will help you continue on the path. And then you stay focused on that. That's why I'm doing it, because it actually serves me. It helps me. And this is how. So that's the evidence.
Wow. Okay. Michelle, you are a wealth of knowledge. We need you by our side 100%. I actually loved having you on here.
Thank you. I love being here. You're awesome. You're so great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.